You ever get that feeling like you want to really get to the heart of a story, you know?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like, you want to see why it still matters today,
Yeah.
but without getting lost in all the tiny
Yeah,
details.
for sure.
Well, that's kind of what we're all about here,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
on the deep dive. So today we're diving into a pretty powerful story from the Bible,
Okay.
2 Kings chapter 7.
All right.
So just picture it, okay? A major city called Samaria,
Mm-hmm.
totally trapped.
Under siege.
Yeah. By the Syrians.
Yeah.
They're cut off, no food left. People are, they're desperate. Like it's a total crisis situation.
Wow.
So our goal today is to kind of unpack this story, see what we can learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do people navigate tough times,
Yeah, and maybe, for folks who see it this way,
Right.
how does this story speak to, like, faith in something bigger than ourselves?
Exactly.
Well,
So it's not just some ancient history. This is a look at, people being resilient,
Mm.
unexpected things happening,
Yeah,
and how people react when they're faced with, like, the end.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's break down what actually happened in this story.
Okay, so 2 Kings chapter 7 opens with, like, this wild prediction.
Okay.
So there's this prophet Elisha,
Right.
and he just comes out
Yeah.
and says, hey, within 24 hours, this crazy famine, it's over.
Wow.
And he even gets specific. He's like, a measure of fine flour, it's going to cost a shekel.
Oh, okay.
2 measures of barley, same price. So just so everyone's on the same page, a shekel was like their money back then.
Right.
And this prophecy, basically it meant that food was about to become dirt cheap.
Hmm.
Like think a cup of coffee cheap today.
Wow.
Pretty drastic shift,
Yeah.
from starving to like, oh, hey, food's affordable.
Yeah. That's quite a change. It's hard to even imagine, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how one of the king's top officers reacts.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He hears this and he's like, nope,
He doesn't believe it.
not at all.
Wow.
He's just so stuck in the reality of this siege. Like he just can't fathom a solution,
Yeah.
especially not one that seems so, out there.
Uh-huh.
So he says, and this is a direct quote, even if the Lord made windows in heaven, could this be?
Wow. That's some serious doubt there.
Oh, yeah. What do you make of that? Like that level of disbelief in the middle of such a tough spot?
Well, I think it shows how our circumstances, the things we're going through, can really cloud our vision.
Yeah.
He's so focused on the problem that he can't even picture a way out.
Yeah. I mean, he just shuts down the possibility.
Exactly. And Elisha's response, it's pretty strong. He tells this officer, look, you're going to see this abundance with your own eyes. You just won't get to enjoy it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty heavy consequence for his lack of faith.
Yeah, for sure.
So while this is going on inside the city, there's another story unfolding outside the walls
Okay.
with 4 lepers. These guys, they're in a truly awful situation. Stuck between a starving city that can't help them and an enemy camp that could mean death.
Yeah, there's no good options for them, is there?
No, not really. But what's interesting is how they approach their decision. They basically say, we got nothing to lose.
Mm.
If we stay in the city, we starve. If we go to the Syrian camp, maybe they kill us, but maybe they show us mercy. Maybe we live.
So like all the options are bad, but they choose to take a chance.
All right.
Have you ever been in a situation like that where you felt like any action, even a risky one, was better than just sitting still?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That feeling of being trapped, it can push you to do things you wouldn't normally consider.
For sure.
So these lepers, they go towards the Syrian camp as it's getting dark. And what do they find? Empty tents.
What?
No soldiers, totally silent.
That's eerie.
It is. And the scripture says God made the Syrian army hear a sound like a massive army coming at them.
Whoa.
Chariots, horses, thousands of soldiers. They totally panicked, thinking the Israelites had hired allies to attack.
So they ran.
They ran, left everything behind in their terror.
Wow. That's a huge turn of events.
Yeah.
I mean, they were scared of something they didn't even see. Just a sound that God created.
It really makes you think about how things we don't see, things we're not even aware of, can completely change a situation.
Right, like we don't always have the full picture.
Right.
And solutions can come from places we never expect.
Exactly.
Okay, so back to the lepers. They find this abandoned camp overflowing with supplies. Food, silver, gold clothing.
Like a gold mine.
Totally. And at first their reaction, totally human.
Yeah.
They eat, they drink, they hide some treasure.
Of course.
But then something changes in their thinking.
What happens?
It's like a light bulb moment.
Mm-hmm.
They realize how much stuff is here Like, this isn't just about them anymore.
Yeah.
This could save the entire city.
Mm.
They realize they have this incredible good news, and keeping it to themselves, that would be wrong.
Right.
So they decide they have to go back and tell the city.
That's a big decision.
It is. Especially considering they were just starving themselves, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think about that choice? To share what they found, even though they'd been through so much.
Well, I think it shows their compassion, their sense of community. They realize their own survival is tied to everyone else's.
Yeah.
And even after all they suffered, they didn't hoard this newfound fortune. They wanted to share the hope.
That's powerful.
So they go back to the city and tell the gatekeepers this unbelievable story. And can you blame the people inside for being skeptical?
Not at all. They've been through so much, they're probably thinking it's a trap.
Exactly. Like, come on, after all this, you think we're falling for that.
Right.
So the king, he's particularly suspicious. He's worried the Syrians are hiding, waiting for them to come out and loot the camp, and then bam, they'll swoop in and take the city.
Oh, that's smart.
It is. It's logical thinking based on their experience, you know.
Yeah, he's been burned before.
Right. So he orders a cautious investigation to check out the lepers' story.
Makes sense. So his advisors, they're like, okay, let's send out a small group on the horses we have left
Okay.
to scout the area. And they say, you know, even if we lose these guys, it's no worse than what we're already facing.
Right.
So they send out 2 chariots,
Okay.
and they follow the trail all the way to the Jordan River. And it's covered with discarded clothes and weapons and equipment, like clear signs of a panicked retreat.
So the lepers were telling the truth.
100%.
Yeah.
The scouts confirm it. The news spreads like wildfire through Samaria. And the people, they just flood out of the city.
It's a Syrian camp.
Yeah, take everything. And just like Elisha predicted, the famine ends immediately. Food is everywhere, and it's cheap, just like he said.
Incredible. A complete turnaround.
Oh, yeah. So what about that officer who doubted everything?
Oh, yeah. What happened to him?
Well, the king had put him in charge of the city gate, probably to, manage the crowds and the food distribution.
Okay.
But when everyone rushes out to get to the food, he gets trampled in the chaos and dies. Yeah, just like Elisha prophesied. He saw the abundance, but he didn't get to be a part of it.
That's a pretty strong consequence.
It is. And when you look at this whole story, it raises some big questions.
It does.
For people of faith, it shows that there's a possibility for things to change, even when things seem totally hopeless.
Right.
Like the famine in Samaria. It seemed impossible to overcome. And a lot of us face problems in our lives that feel just as huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this story reminds us to think beyond what we can see,
Yeah.
to keep believing even when things are tough.
Yeah, maybe to trust that there's something working even when we can't see it.
Exactly. And you know what happened to that officer? It shows how closing your mind to possibilities can stop you from experiencing good things even when they're right there.
Yeah, it's a warning against shutting down possibilities just because they don't seem likely based on what we know right now.
Right. Like being open to new ideas, even being hopeful, can open up opportunities we might have missed otherwise.
Absolutely. And those lepers taking initiative, that's a big lesson too.
Yeah.
I mean, they were at the bottom of the social ladder. Their situation seemed impossible, but they chose to act. They didn't just sit there and accept their fate.
Right.
And that decision to do something, even though it was risky, that's what saved the city.
Wow.
It's like a nudge to all of us. What small steps can we take, even when we're not sure what'll happen? What can we do instead of feeling helpless?
Right. And then their choice to share the good news, that's inspiring too. They could have kept it to themselves at least for a while.
Make their own lives comfortable first.
Right. But they understood they had a duty to everyone else.
Yeah.
And for people of faith, it shows that when things get better for you, you have a responsibility to help others too, to share those blessings.
That's a great point.
And the way that rescue happened, the strange sound, the invisible threat. It shows us that solutions don't always come in ways we expect.
That's for sure.
It makes you wonder if we get too focused on what seems logical or likely. Maybe we miss other ways that problems can be solved.
It's a good thing to consider.
So in this ancient story, we see all these themes: unexpected rescue, the power of belief and disbelief, taking action, sharing hope, and the idea that solutions can come from unexpected places.
Absolutely. And these aren't just old ideas, they still matter today. They can give us a new perspective on our own problems.
So as you go about your day, think about something in your own life that feels really tough, maybe even impossible. And thinking about this story from Second Kings, what's one small step you could take, even if you're not sure what will happen? And what good news could you share with someone?
Yeah, like some encouragement,
A helpful
a
resource.
moment of hope.
Right. It's worth thinking about how these old themes can give us a new way of looking at the challenges we face today.
Absolutely.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
My pleasure.
See you next time.
See ya.